Welcome back, tennis fans. As I promised yesterday, we'll be back for another podcast, and today we're speaking about Shanghai. We've reached the quarter-final stage. We're back in the fan park in Valencia. We've been watching some challenger tennis, and it's really getting us in the mood to speak about Shanghai because it's been non-stop tennis from morning till night here, and we've been spending the days watching tennis live on the clay, and then the evenings has been all about Shanghai, watching the hard court matches. And the quarterfinals is stacked because we have all of the big players there, aside from Zverev. That shock happened about 15 minutes ago to David Goffin. What do you make of it so far, particularly that match?
I'm massively shocked by the fact Sasha Zverev's gone out there. I know that he's been complaining a lot to the umpire as well, saying that they're ruining the tournament in Shanghai. There's been more than one person complaining about them. It's never good when umpires are the topic of conversation when it comes to any sport, referees, umpires. You don't want to know their names, really. You just want to know the match went ahead as planned, and Zverev's going to use that as his excuse why he lost, for sure. Other results, I mean, I thought Holger Rune would probably get past Fritz, but Fritz continues his good form, and Grigor Dimitrov, that's probably one of the biggest upsets. Jakub Mensik knocks him out in 3. I had Dimitrov going pretty deep in this tournament, and he goes out before the quarterfinal stage. So
It is, and Mensik's in such great form. I think he beat Rublev, didn't he, early tournament? Or someone really good, for sure. But on Goffin, that is the biggest shock, and that is his first top 10 win in 2 years.
Man.
We know he's got that level in him, but I thought he was on the decline, and I thought we wasn't going to really see many big results from him.
Same, yeah.
Zverev was one of the ones who had real chances to win this event because he's on the other side. You've got Sinner and Alcaraz at the top.
Yep.
He's on the side with Djokovic, and we wasn't sure what form Djokovic was going to be in. We'll save some Djokovic talk for a second, but let's just speak about the umpires because you touched on it. We had a massive incident with TFO. I think he crossed several lines, was over the top. We'll see what happens. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be banned. I can understand his frustration, and the umpires are taking too much of a limelight. I think a lot of it is to do with these sort of time violation warnings, time to get the towels. Tsitsipas has had a problem. Djokovic has been speaking about it as well.
Yep.
Medvedev's still moaning about the balls. But yeah, Medvedev is still doing well and getting through the event. And in terms of my predictions, it's all going as I kind of expected, in a way. I had Medvedev Fritz in the final with Medvedev winning. Both of them are still in the event. And I think now with Zverev out, it's given a great opportunity to, and I don't want to be dismissive to Goffin, but either Fritz, Djokovic or Mensik. If Mensik can beat Djokovic, I think he can probably get all the way to the final. Big ask though. And Fritz, these conditions will suit him in Shanghai.
Yeah. I think that Thomas Machac as well, he's playing really great stuff.
But that's the top. I'm talking about the bottom.
Beating Tommy Paul, I think the Czech tennis in such a great place right now. Djokovic, he's playing better than I thought. I'm not going to lie. I thought that Djokovic would just be there on a bit of an exhibition. It turns out he actually looks like he's there to win.
Who was in your final from the bottom?
I actually had Grigor Dimitrov.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why my bracket now looks pretty damaged. At the top, I did have the semi-final of Alcaraz Sinner, so that looks like we're still on course for that one. But it's just sort of the same names. Yeah, Sinner, Medvedev, Alcaraz, Djokovic in there as well. I mean, at the bottom, it's no better opportunity. I know I say this all the time, no better opportunity for Taylor Fritz to do well at an event, but it seems like it's happening again.
If he gets Djokovic again, that's the problem. I mean, he's playing so well. He beat Holger Rune in 55 minutes, 6-1, 6-2.
Brilliant.
I just feel this is as best opportunity he can get, and that's why I've got him going all the way to the final. Fritz, though, if he is to face Djokovic, I actually think he's going to lose. And on paper, that is good for tennis in one way, because the final everyone would love to see would be probably Sinner, Djokovic, or if not, next best is Alcaraz, Djokovic, and
even Medvedev.
There's a lot of chances now because I feel Djokovic is going to probably make the final somehow. just because of the plays he can play in that section. I think Mensik could choke slightly, and then either Goffin or Fritz is just perfect for. They're another two. They're players who will choke against Djokovic. Let's be honest.
It's I mean, we say it time and time again. The draw's been very kind to Novak Djokovic in this.
But he has played well.
One.
Let's speak about how Djokovic has played, because people are going to want to know what our reaction to him is.
Yep.
He's massively impressed me. I know his fans are very pleased. I know the Chinese fans out there absolutely adore him. He's had so many gifts and presents from him. He said he's going to have to book another suitcase just to take all of the stuff he's received there back home. He may need another suitcase if he's to win the title as well, because the trophy looks quite big.
Well, he's going for his 5th Shanghai Masters as well, so maybe there's something that he doesn't like about the number 4 and he wants to just up it just to get another Shanghai Masters under his belt. Obviously, he's won every single Masters event twice, nearly 3 times. If he just can win Monte Carlo again, he'll have all of them 3 times. But this one definitely suits his game. I think he made it look so easy. The fact he beat Roman Safiullin, I thought it was a really comprehensive performance. It's just what Djokovic does these days. Goes on a tennis court, and unless you're Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, and maybe Daniel Medvedev, he's just going to have his way with you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, seems like it. So it is the quarter-final stage. Let's give some predictions. And I'm sure you'll already be aware that with Djokovic approaching this stage of his career and season, he said he's just focused on the Davis Cup, he's focused on Grand Slams, but he's got an outside chance now to get into the Tour finals with the way he's playing in Shanghai. There's a lot of points at stake, and he's now... he moves past De Minaur into the top 8 for the race.
Wow.
So for the qualification. So that's something to consider for sure. And with that in mind, let's give some predictions, because I think he's been underplaying his attendance at this year's Tour finals, and deep down I think he really wants to be there. But that's just my opinion. Of course, let me know in the comments if you agree. We'll start with that first match, and that is Mensik Djokovic.
Yeah,
Djokovic the 4th seed, Mensik unseeded.
I see Djokovic beating him. I think the way he's playing, like you said, deer in the headlights for Mensik, I think, in this match. Straight sets Djokovic.
But just look who's beaten Mensik.
I know.
He's beaten Shevchenko, Dimitrov. Before that, he beat Rublev. He's had a tough draw, and he's still come through them, all in 3 sets as well. So they've all been pretty tough matches. And...
I still think Djokovic is too good.
They've never played before. Djokovic has beaten Mickelson, Kaboli and Safiullin, all in straights.
Yep.
Not dropped a set.
Exactly.
I'm going to be going for 3 sets. I think Mensik does take one in a tie-break.
Okay.
But I'm going to have Djokovic winning in 3.
Interesting. Right.
You've got Djokovic in 2.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm going with that. Let's give our Fritz and Goffin prediction. I'm going straight in. I think Taylor Fritz does him in straight sets.
Yeah, I'm not going to entertain this one too much. It's one of them ones where once you have a big result, like beating a top 10 player like a Sasha Zverev, the number 2 seed, you then just crumble out, I feel.
Yeah,
and Goffin will be pleased with him getting this far. Good money, good points. He's hit his ceiling. He loses in straights.
Sad, but I reckon it's true.
Which is annoying, because now we get to see Fritz Djokovic, and Fritz just struggles massively. But
never know. You never know.
We always say, if there's going to be a time, now's not a bad one.
Yeah, if we move to the top of the draw, we have obviously all of these big boys who always seem to be in the same half. Sinner, Medvedev and Alcaraz all up there. Let's touch on their performances in the last round. Alcaraz Monfils. Thought it was an entertaining match, but like I said to you off the podcast, the fact that Gael Monfils came out and said, I'm not expecting to win this match. I don't think me beating him was him at his best. It was a fluke.
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
99% of the time, he will beat me because he's that good. As soon as he said that, I knew he was going to lose.
Yeah, it's a bit of a defeatist mentality, but it makes sense. You've got to be realistic sometimes. It was very close in terms of the scoreline. Not much.
It was a good match.
A few breaks.
Very good match.
But I feel Alcaraz didn't push himself to the maximum. He had a lot more left in the tank.
Yep.
And he just did what he needed to do. It was a very professional performance from him.
Yep.
And yeah, I see. Well, let's speak about his next match, which is going to be Thomas Machac, someone we've spoken to on the podcast, who's playing exceptionally well.
Yep.
We need to speak about the match, what got him to the dance, because it was Tommy Paul, who I'm sure everyone knows is having a fantastic season, probably his best on tour. He is trying to get into the race to Turin and qualify for the tour finals. Perhaps someone who can't do that. And beat him in 3 sets. I didn't see the match, so I'm not going to comment too much, but it was very close. And it went all the way to 3. Machac closing in on it though.
Yeah.
Ending strong.
Brilliant. Great for the Czechs, as I said before. He's now facing Alcaraz, though. Let's give our prediction on that one now before we touch on the big one, which is Sinner Medvedev.
I think it will be similar to the Monfils one, where we're just going to see a breaker set and Alcaraz will win both.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same with you on that. I think it will
keep the theme going of how he's playing at the
comfortable
moment.
wins.
Yeah, assured.
That's it. So Sinner Medvedev, that's the big one.
Some good points. It's one of the ones where I think
sure.
Machac has the ability to bring out the best in your opponent.
But business end, he won't.
Yeah, probably not.
Sinner Medvedev, this is the biggest one on paper out of all of them. Medvedev got past Tsitsipas. It was nice to hear Tsitsipas coming out and saying he's sort of crushed the beef with Medvedev now, and he said he's got a bit older now. I think that's a good thing.
He's not crushed it with the umpires though. He was fuming.
Well,
there's a whole back and forth. I'm not going to go through it now, but you can find it on Twitter. I was reading it earlier.
Yeah.
And he's very frustrated because he feels that he's probably got a bit of a bad name since that toilet. When we used to go for the toilet breaks all the time.
Yep.
He's now distanced himself from his dad, and he's distanced himself from that whole toilet break thing.
Yeah.
But he's getting accused of taking too long in the changeovers, and he feels that it's not unfair and unwarranted, and it's maybe his reputation before, which is causing some problems.
Can happen. In
this match, Sinner Medvedev, I see it being super, super tight. And I'm going to stick with what I had at the beginning of the tournament, and that is I think Medvedev's going to beat Jannik Sinner in 3 sets. These two, we see great matches. They're very hotly contested. And the last time they played, Sinner won. And I think now it's Medvedev's time. That was at the US Open.
Could well be. You never know. Sinner's managed to gain some revenge in this match that he's just been in. Ben Shelton, it was in Shanghai last year that he actually lost to Ben Shelton. He actually played so much better. You can see how much he's improved. He went to 3 sets last year. This year, straight sets win. Just goes to show.
Just levels with Sinner.
Yeah, very, very much. I think it's going to be levels again with Medvedev, and I think that he beats Medvedev. And sadly for Medvedev, I think Medvedev's going to be losing in 3, but the 2 sets he loses are going to be. It's going to be a tie-break set for both set losses.
So you do think it's going to be really close? Then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that it's close, but Medvedev will win in 3 sets. So there we go. So that is our quarter-final predictions. That would leave for me, a Medvedev Alcaraz at the top, and at the bottom, a Djokovic Taylor Fritz. We'll be back to see how right or wrong we was and give some semi-final thoughts and reaction to the quarter-final results. We'll also try and bring some content from Valencia. Me and Ben are going to be playing some tennis tonight with another really famous YouTuber. And we'll go from there. We're just enjoying it. This is like a holiday period. Tennis ball just almost hit the camera there. And we'll bring you some content as and when we've got some. Like and subscribe.
Bye.